Todd Cherches is the CEO and co-founder of BigBlueGumball, a New York City-based consulting firm specializing in leadership development, public speaking, and executive coaching. He is also a three-time award-winning adjunct professor of leadership in the Human Capital Management Master's Program at NYU, and he's a lecturer on leadership at Columbia University. Todd is also a TEDx speaker, The Power of Visual Thinking, very entertaining program. I got a good look at it there. And the author of a terrific new book you have to check out entitled Visual Leadership, Leveraging the Power of Visual Thinking in Leadership and in Life. Todd, we have so many friends in common. How you doing?
Yes, we do. We have a lot of friends in common, a lot of things in common. So I'm sure we could talk for like 10 hours, but we only have 10 minutes. So we're going to have to pack a lot in. Luckily, I talk fast, so like New York.
I know, right? Here we go. Visual leadership, fascinating concept. Just to bring people up to speed pretty quick here, what is visual leadership and why is this type of approach so important during, I'll say, this age of, high flux and virtual online communications? Why is it so important?
Sure. The name of my book, Visual Leadership, it's one word with a single capital L. So the words visual and leadership are joined together. I actually got the U.S. trademark on the word, so it's all mine. And happy to share with the world, though. One of the reasons I blended the words together, other than being a brand, is that you can't separate vision from leadership or leadership from vision, right? We always talk about visionary leaders or having a visionary leader. I mean, having a vision in our mind's eye. It's all about having a picture of the future, right? Thinking in pictures rather than words or numbers. Having a picture in your mind's eye of an idealized future that's different from and better than the current reality. So the challenge then becomes, from a leadership perspective, how do you get that picture from your head and out there into others' heads so you can change the world, right? So that's the bottom line. That's what visual thinking is all about. And we all know a picture is worth 1,000 words. So if we can translate those words into pictures, we can help others to see what we're saying and then again make that vision a reality.
And it's important now because so much of what's happening, I mean, like between you and me right now, this is the first we've ever spoken, you know what I mean? And not only is it sort of having meetings and getting to know people, but it's transacting business. It's making important decisions. It's helping your customers. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's all about, again, how can a customer buy your product if they can't envision, the word envision, right? Picture in their mind's eye how they would use that product. How can a CEO make his or her vision a reality if you can't get your people to see that what they're saying and to have that picture in their mind's eye? Right? So it's all about, basically it's about seeing, it's about looking, it's about noticing, but it's also about understanding. And I always, in my TED Talk, I break it down to the three words: attention, comprehension, and retention. When you use visuals, it gets people to focus because they're looking at something without distraction. Because think about how distracted we are. Like right now, you could be checking your iPhone or doing your email, right? But we're focused on the conversation. We're looking at each other. Comprehension, it helps people to understand if you could see something visually, and retention, it helps people to remember, right? Okay. It just the visual image gets embedded in another part of your brain that where we're, other than where words are registered, and it helps us to remember and understand more effectively than words alone.
Todd, I know an awful lot of people who would see the word visual leadership or see your book on a book stand somewhere, and they'd go, well, that's not for me. I'm not an artist. I'm not a designer. I have zero Photoshop skills. I'm even bad at PowerPoint. You know what I mean? Can you correct my thinking on this a little bit? Can you tell me about, it's not about being an artist. It's not about being a designer. What are your thoughts on that?
Sure. Well, one thing, as Seth Godin always says, we're all artists in one way or another, right? Our work is our art, right? And our job is to get it out there into the world so others can see it. But the way I always answer that question is we all need to get others to see what we're saying. So we all need to get our ideas out of our heads into someone else's. So that's why the subtitle of the book is Leveraging the Power of Visual Thinking in Leadership and in Life. These are skills that we all need, whether you're talking to your spouse or your child, or to your employees or your customers, right? I break into 4 categories. Use of visual imagery and drawing is the first one. Use of mental models and frameworks is the second. Use of metaphor and analogy is the third. And use of stories and humor is the fourth, right? So you may say, I can't draw, but I enjoy telling stories. Or you may say, I don't feel comfortable getting up in front of the room and my PowerPoint skills aren't good, but I'm good at napkin sketching, or I'm good at getting up at a whiteboard and doing a process diagram or whatever. So that's the thing that's resonating with people. It's not just you need to draw. And anyone could draw, right? If you could play Pictionary or charades, right? You could communicate visually through hand gestures and imagery. So, so that's what I say is like, put that aside, put the I can't draw thing aside, and say it's really about conveying information, but in a visual way, often combined with the auditory way, reading and writing and kinesthetic, right? So we use all different senses, but the foundation is about, getting your vision out there into the world.
That's excellent. And just to wrap up here, I'm going to ask you the question I ask everybody. Todd, what lessons have we learned during this moment of crisis or pandemic or whatever? What lessons have we learned that we must not forget?
Yeah. Well, a lot of times when we think about visual leadership, it's all about us and getting our idea into the world. But I'd also like you see the eye on the cover of the book. Flip it around. We need to be able to see things through the eyes of others, right? In a world of diversity, inclusion, belonging, equity, it's not about us. It's about, and leadership shouldn't be about us in the first place, right? It's about developing the next generation of leaders. It's about seeing things from others' perspectives. So that's what I would say is flip visual leadership on its head so that it's not just about your vision, but it's about helping others to make their vision a reality.
That's fantastic. Very good. It was so nice to meet you.
It was a pleasure meeting you. Great talking to you.